Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and welcome back to our Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul, and this is our team.
Hello, I'm Marco, I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake, them is two best to do.
Hello, I'm Mick and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Kaylem, I'm the other mechanic. Hello, I'm Sean, I'm the new apprentice mechanic.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos and comment what you want. Just put it in the comments list and we'll get back. So in for repair today we have our JCB Fastrac 4220, we also have our John Deere 6910, and we have our Mazda BT2500. I also want to point out there is a tractor run taking place on the 11th of December. I'll just read it out. It came in there from John May in Longford, and it's in aid of Keen's Kennels. It's happening this Sunday in Abbeyshrew, County Longford. More information on the Facebook Abbeyshrew Christmas Lights Tractor Run or Instagram Christmas Lights Tractor Run. They had 185 tractors last year, and they hope to get up to 200 this year. So look, it's always for great causes, these tractor runs. So this Sunday, 11th of December, get your tractors in, lads. Just another local event that's taking place this Sunday in the Becks in Crossmacole. This is it.
Oh, hello, boys and girls. Don't forget, Sunday, December the 11th, I'll be here in the Becks in Crossmacole from 12 o'clock. Bring your mammies and your daddies, bring your aunts and your uncles and your granny and your granddads. Bring the cat and dog if you want to. There's going to be great crack here. We've a Christmas fair out the back here. We'll also be selling tickets. A fundraiser for the Mead ladies, a signed jersey, only €5 a ticket. We'll also have the world famous Christmas draw here in the Becks. All happening, boys and girls, from 12 o'clock next Sunday, the 11th of December. It's going to be a great day. Merry Christmas all!
Also, one other thing to mention is that it is giving a lot of cold weather in the next couple of days, and if you have any sprayers or anything like that, even old tractors, make sure you get them inside, make sure there's antifreeze in them, and put them away just for the next few days. So first of all, we're going to head over to Kaylem there with the 4220.
So here we are now with our 4220 Fastrac, and as if you watched the video, it's probably about a month or two ago, we had an issue with an exhaust gasket just off our turbo. And unfortunately, we're looking at the same thing again. So what's after happening this time is it stretched the studs and blew out the gasket. So I never changed the studs the last time. You never generally have to change them, but they're stretched now anyway, so we have to take the turbo off to change the 4 bolts. The last time I was able to get lucky by taking off as little as possible and just lifting up the turbo slightly just to get enough access. I think I had a broken bolt here on the back corner. Oh no, well, no, yeah, it was this one here actually. And I was able to get that out. I was happy enough. But just to take out the studs now with gas and everything like that, it was handy to take off the turbo. There's not much involved in taking it off. So Sean's in at that now with just trying to get our studs out of it. 4 new studs in, new gasket, and hopefully that'll be everything that, and we'll not have to look at it again. But that's about the height of it on that. Unfortunately, having to do a job twice is not nice, but it just has to be done and we get done with it. That'll be the end of it. So now inside in the cab is the second problem that we're looking at. So on my handbrake, whenever we were applying it, it had dumped the air supply, but the little vent pipe that's just off the back of it, which is this wee brown or orange pipe, whatever you want to call it, was disconnected off the back of the handbrake. So whenever we were applying it, all we were listening to was a big psh inside in the cab. It was probably going for about 5 seconds. It was quite loud, so we just said we fixed that. And there's also one of the supply pipes was constantly leaking ever so slightly, so we can take out the pipe and cut off a fresh end with the standing blade, put it back in, give it a good pull, and that's the end of that leak. So we're listening to 2 air leaks just in that corner, and it's not nice, but we'll have that sorted anyway, and the whole track's going to be ready for road again.
So we have our own original 6910 in. It's the one that would have been bought here on the farm 23 years ago now at this stage. We have a little bit of an issue here, Marco, haven't we?
A small hole.
Yeah, it was a small hole. So we put a new battery in it there the other day. Well, we just replaced the battery, and now this didn't happen last week, I wouldn't say. So I don't know what would cause this. Maybe a little bit of overcharging, maybe at some stage from the battery with the acid leaking out, and it absolutely has disintegrated the whole floor in here, as you can see. Now, how are we going to fix this? That's the next thing.
I might lift the radiator.
I say that radiator, Marco, will lift up, because I think they will lift up in these 2 pipes here. They'll slide up without losing any gas. And if you come back here, there is a bracket. Now that bracket, we might be able to work off that
Yeah.
and bring a whole plate forward here on it.
Yeah.
So it looks like a little bit of stripping to do, a little bit of fabricating there to put in the base unit here with a lip in it, so the battery actually sits in it, and then then we have to put holes in it then for holding down the battery clamp, because look at even the battery clamp is completely gone. Actually, maybe that was there, was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
Funny.
it'll be a funny one, isn't it?
Yep.
I'll give him a couple of hours, so he'll have it all sorted. What's the story, Morris? Bit of an issue here with the van, have we?
We only miss it when we haven't got it.
Yeah, no, we're after bringing it in this morning, and it actually stopped outside the workshop, didn't it?
Right outside, heading for the gate, and it stopped outside the workshop.
A little bit of a smell. Obviously here we thought maybe it might be as simple as the belt, but there's probably more than the belt, isn't it? We're looking down here, yeah. In here we have this unit now is fitted to, it's for running the fridge unit there at the back of the van. And Morris on deliveries there today, and it's just as usual when you would really want it, that's the time when it breaks down, isn't it? So it's Murphy's Law job here. So we have a couple of different options. We can either get a new compressor if it's one in stock. If we don't have one in stock, we thought we might be able to reroute the belt and maybe not go through the compressor here that we're running, and we've no power steering, and that's really what happened. Morris, he was driving down all of a sudden, and then the steering went hard, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to have to find out and get Kaylem and Mick on the job here and see what happens. So we're back at the Mazda, the BT2500 now. We had a small bit of an issue. It was a bit of a funny story. It wasn't really Mick, but we went to driveshaft services in Dublin to get the drive on new end, as you can see here. It stops the job, doesn't it, Mick?
Yeah.
What did we put in new?
That was in wrecked. So that's new there. From there, that's the original one there. That wasn't damaged. So there's a new end and a cross.
Yeah, so actually what happened was the drive shaft ended up in...
Well, what happened there was, they rang me on the Friday and said the shaft is ready. It was a Friday now, and they said it's €20 to get delivered. I said, oh, delivered.
So Mick wasn't going to drive back up to Dublin there. He's seen enough of Dublin in his time.
Life, yeah. So anyway, they said they delivered, and that was, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I was to be here on the Monday. And a week and a half later, I'm over at the Sprout Harvest and I get a phone call from a guy, a number, and normally I won't answer him because I didn't know it. But anyway, I did. Are you missing a drive shaft? I says, yeah. Where is it? Tuam Road in Galway.
Yeah, so I went the whole way over to Tuam, to Galway, and in fairness, the guys brought it back here this morning and delivered it in. Now,
We're putting it on at the minute.
What is the timing on that?
Always with drive shaft, same on your tractors. That yoke there and the other end should be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because in rotation, as far as I remember, if there's an angle on it, there's a 15-degree increase in speed, decrease in speed in every rotation.
Yeah, the same if you're putting on a drive shaft, PTO shaft on a tractor. You have the yoke ends should obviously line up. And yeah, look, we're going to get back on it here. 4 bolts. I think that's it.
I'm half there. There's 4 up here, 2 in the middle, and 4 down there. And that'll be her.
Right, that'll be it then. We'll get her back to the field. It's not it.
Well,
there we go.
it's starting, no problem, scoring.
Yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable.
So now it's time for tips and tricks. Tips and tricks.
So in this week's tips and tricks, I'm going to talk about my favourite tool, and that is actually my phone. Now, in particular, I'm just going to talk about the camera. So for me anyway, there's 3 main things that I use my camera for on a daily basis. And it'd be for memory, so taking photographs of a job beforehand. And if I want to get a proper decent photograph of a part number or something like that that's not that easy to read, or even if you're in real bad light and you're trying to take a photograph with your flash, there's a little trick for how to get a decent photograph with that. So I'll talk about that first anyway. So I've this little 90-degree drive here, and trying to read the part number on that. It's not too bad to read now, it's not the worst. But if you're taking a photograph of that in real bad lighting now, which I'll just show an example of. So if I'm here now and I want to put on my flash, I'll put that on, and I'll come down here to the bottom where real dark. I can zoom in here a wee bit. I can take a photograph with the flash. What happens is when you take a photograph with the flash, it's kind of unpredictable. See the way that's after going all blurry and everything on that now. But the way I do it now to work around that is, instead of taking a photograph, I'll actually take a video. Now on my iPhone anyway, I can put it up to the highest resolution possible, put my flash on before I start taking a video, set this up. I can zoom in and I can twist and turn my phone to get the exact angle that I want to get, and then down the very bottom right corner I can take a snapshot of that. So now I come in here now, my second photograph is way clearer now than an unpredictable flash. Like, that's all blurry and everything. So that's how I'd get a lot of part numbers for stuff like that. I'd actually take a video and then a snapshot of it. Now if you're working on a job in particular where you're not familiar with it, like if you're taking a lot of stuff off of an engine or the likes, you're not too familiar with where everything goes, and just taking plenty of photographs before you even start is fairly invaluable for just putting stuff back together enough, making sure everything's in the right place. And then after that, then the next thing would be for memory. So if I was working on a machine now, or even for the drivers, if they were to tell me that there was a fault code on something or a HIPAA fault's coming up, taking photographs of all that stuff is invaluable, because I can get sent straight what the exact error codes are, and if there was 10 or 11 fault codes that no one knows what they are, you're not going to sit there and write them down on a pen and paper if you're out doing a day's work. But taking photographs only takes a second, and there's no going back from there. It's absolutely fantastic. So that's my favourite tool anyway in particular.
So the answer to last week's mixed mystery tool was a brake pipe flaring tool. Okay, the first three correct answers to come in were Cian McCarthy, Optimus Prime, he's there before, wasn't he? And Gerard McCarthy, who's been there before anyway. So, look, lads, well done again. Mick is going to explain it and maybe demonstrate on how it works.
Before I start, I just want to say thanks to Ollie Moore for giving me the loan of it. A very handy little tool. It's handheld, but I've put it in here. It just makes it easier for showing it. This one here is a tool that gives you gauges how far in you push your pipe. Just run it in all the way. See the pipe coming back out. Once we've that done, nip it down. I've tightened these down. This is your depth gauge here. I can take that back out now. And I'm going for a single flare at the moment. And I'm going to do a double afterwards with this. Operation 1. See the arrow there?
Yep.
That gives you a double flare. Or sorry, a single flare. Run it in. And tighten all the way. You can feel it getting heavy there now. Just run it all into the end. If you're doing this on a pipe in situ, make sure you put your fitting on first.
Very important.
I'll take that out and show it to you. Feel it through this or so. You can see the flare there now.
This is step 1.
Yep. There's a lubricant on there, which I've done here already, but I need a spread on that, like a Y, to seal that. So what I'm going to do now is put it back in, tighten it, and I'm going to go to operation 2, which is not marked on it, but it's the other side anyway. Okay, put a little bit on it and put that in. Smooth. You found it so far? Very handy little tool. You can do a repair in place in a brake pipe. Now you can see it here. When I put that to that, I have a sealing face. It's not great there by me, but that should be a bit wider.
But they'll get the idea, won't they, Mick?
Yeah. And then obviously, I should have, if it's on a car, make sure, or a van or whatever, make sure you put the two together. Okay.
So that's how Mick demonstrated the brake pipe flaring tool. Well, Mick, what have we got for this week?
There's something here, me pocket.
Something here, sweets, is it?
No.
Sweets, no sweets. Alright, but this mixed mystery tool for this week is this little
Thing.
is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Very handy.
Oh yeah, and cheap.
And cheap and cheerful.
Yeah.
But very valuable when you want
Most
to.
people probably know this.
Yeah, of course they will anyway. Look, best of luck, lads. Get the first 3 correct answers in. We'll be on the board next week. Best of luck. See you next week. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the video, say, comment what you want, and we will get back to you. So from everyone here at Finnegan's Farm, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.